Hey guys, as promised, I want to give you a tour of my bonsai projects, and I want to start off uh, showing you what I call the Purgatory. So the Purgatory is a place where I bring in some raw materials. Most of them are things that come from landscape projects, and I put them there for a little bit just to see if they make it, uh, at least for the 1 year season. Once they come out of that area, then I know that I have a good chance of working with them. My philosophy is that I don't want to use too much of my time working on those trees that potentially has the possibility of dying on me. But at the same time, I don't necessarily neglect them. I just don't spend a lot of time on them. So anyway, come with me and I'll show you some of the trees I've collected and working on. And also, first off, this is the area that I call the purgatories. You can see it's quite a mess, but excuse the mess. This is the easiest access I have in my yard that I can bring a truck into and unload some of the bigger materials. Now, just as an aside, this is not for bonsai, but this is a very, very old Ichianthus tree that we saved from a project. Actually, it was a property that was going to be developed, and this will be used in the flower garden show for 2022. And so it's sitting here right now. In another 30 days, or less than a month, we'll be bringing this to the convention center. So I get a lot of materials that at first look they may be too big, but with some creativity, you can make these materials become excellent bonsai materials. This is one that is a juniper that I collect, or actually myself and my crew collected at one of our projects a couple of years ago. There were three of these and only one of them made it, and this is one of them. This seemed like it doesn't have a lot of movement, but uh, I'll probably bring some of these branches down so that foliage will be showing up this area. Obviously, there's going to be some deadwood work on this, but I'm excited about this one. Here's one that's very exciting to me. This is a willow of some sort. It was actually, it was a full-grown tree about, gosh, maybe I would say 20 feet tall, okay? And we cut it down, and I knew that willow will root easily. And so I took the chance with this guy. We chopped it all down pretty much into a stump. And if you look over here, there's really a tight space in here, and you think there's no roots there, but basically chopped the bottom, all the big roots, and regrow hopefully the new roots will regrow here. But as you can see, it's alive, and I'm gonna let this one grow a little bit more, and all these big stuff here will be carved out. And this will be obviously a very big piece of bonsai material, but there's some opportunities here to make some cool carving, and really excited about this. Now here's a western hemlock. Western hemlock is native in this area. You find them a lot. This one came from a project that the owner basically want to get rid of this because it's just a volunteer hemlock that grew, and I thought, oh, let's see what we can do with this. Just put it in the ground here and see what happens. Well, it survived that 118-degree heat that we had, and it still has some foliage. This got a long ways to go, but if this makes it, uh, these stuff here will all be carved out, and this would be an exciting one because again, it's a native species here in the Pacific Northwest, and I feel like this can become a nice large bonsai in the future. Here's some more material. This is away from my Purgatory area, but these are used, and this was collected in spring last year. I actually pulled out 4 of these pieces, and all of them survived. And what's exciting about this is they have a nice size trunk already, and use will grow easily in old wood. So as you can see, I've got a lot to work with here already. I could probably start doing this, working on this, but I just decided to wait another season. Maybe in the fall I can start working on this, and you know, maybe do some carving. These materials will look good. Here's another one. And here's another one. Yeah, in the same area, I want to show you these ivy. Ivy is something that you don't see very often as a bonsai, but I figured, you know, what do I have to lose by just experimenting with these? And what looks fun about these is that these are very old ivy, and when we took this out of a project, you know, we just basically dug out just enough roots and basically cut them down to stumps, and there were no leaves last year when we took this down, and now it's full of leaves, and I've got enough to work with. So that's one of them, and I've got another one here. The trunk is fairly big, so this could be a fun one to work with. There you go, right there. So a lot of possibilities there. Another one you don't see very often is the Camellia, but this is a unique one because take a look at the size of this guy. It's a monster. Look at my hand. And this was collected in the spring of last year, and I just put it in some pumice and a little bit of its own soil just to see what happens. And you know what? It seemed like it's making it. I see a lot of buds coming through. Obviously, it's got a long ways to go, but once this one fills up a little bit more, and I know that it's gonna survive, there's some major carving that needs to happen on this one. So nonetheless, I'm very excited about this because, again, camellias, I don't see them very often, but this has the right proportion because even with the large leaves, because it's got a huge trunk to it, this could look really cool. Now, I thought I'd show you guys what material with a big stump could look like in the future. This material, again, was a salvage. It was a project we did for my neighbor, and this is a flowering cherry, and it was a stump that was basically from here down to here, and it was mostly covered by bark at the time, but I saw a lot of these sprouts showing up, so we dug it out and realized that there was enough material to work with, and just took a chance at it. And so I put it in a pot and eventually and slowly cultivated it, and I have enough branches on this one now to where it's gonna start to ramify a little bit more in the near future. But I was showing you earlier about the Camellia. This is somewhat the idea with that, and it's pretty exciting.